What if I told you that anxiety is not your enemy, but a trap built by your own mind? What if the very moment you feel your heart race and your chest tighten is the precise moment life is calling you back to the present? Anxiety feels like chaos, like a force that hijacks your body and drowns your thoughts, but beneath it lies something extraordinary. It is not here to destroy you. It is here to reveal where your attention truly is. The question is, will you let it control you, or will you use it as the doorway back into now? Think about how anxiety arrives. It never asks permission. One moment, you are scrolling your phone or sitting quietly at your desk, and the next, it's as if a switch has been flipped. Your mind floods with images of what could go wrong. Your chest tightens, your stomach knots, your breath becomes shallow. You are no longer here. Anxiety has stolen you from this moment and hurled you into the future, into a maze of imaginary catastrophes. And yet, in that exact moment, you have a choice that most people never recognize: to spiral deeper into fear or to wake up and return to presence. To understand this choice, we need to see anxiety clearly. Anxiety is not the same as danger. Danger is real, physical, and immediate. Anxiety is the echo of danger projected into the future. It is your body's ancient alarm system misfiring, responding to thoughts as if they were predators. Centuries ago, this system kept our ancestors alive. But today, it reacts to deadlines, emails, awkward conversations, and even our own inner doubts with the same force it once reserved for wild animals. That is why anxiety spikes, because your body does not yet know the difference between imagined fear and real threat. But here's the hidden truth. Anxiety also contains wisdom. It not only signals stress, it reveals the silent beliefs running in the background of your mind. Every surge of panic points toward the stories you are unconsciously telling yourself. I am not enough. I cannot handle this. Something terrible is coming. If you can pause, if you can observe, anxiety transforms from an enemy into a mirror. It shows you the limits of your beliefs. It reveals where freedom waits to be claimed. The key is presence. Presence does not mean erasing anxiety, nor pretending it doesn't exist. Presence means allowing it to be here without letting it define you. Most people fight anxiety like it is a monster, clenching their fists, screaming inwardly for it to go away. But resistance is fuel for the fire. The paradox is that the more you allow anxiety to exist, the less control it has over you. Presence is not about escape, but about awareness. One of the simplest ways to return to presence is through breath. The moment anxiety spikes, your breathing becomes short and rapid. That's your body preparing for battle. But if you deliberately slow down, inhaling deeply through your nose, holding for a second, and exhaling slowly, you flip the switch. You send a signal to your nervous system that you are safe, you are alive, you are here. The mind screams danger, but the body whispers calm. Breath is the anchor, the thread pulling you back to now. Another path is through the body itself. Anxiety hides in muscle tension. Your jaw clenches, your shoulders rise, your stomach tightens. If you bring awareness to these places, you begin to loosen the grip. Wiggle your toes, feel the floor beneath your feet, and notice the weight of your body on the chair. These simple acts remind you that you are not lost in thoughts, but rooted in a real, physical moment. Perhaps the most powerful practice is observation. Instead of identifying with anxiety, you observe it. You become the witness. Imagine sitting by a river while thoughts float past like leaves. They come, they drift, they disappear. You are no longer trapped in the current. You are watching from the shore. Anxiety loses its power when you stop confusing it with who you are. It is not you. It is only an experience moving through you. Philosophy reminds us that life only exists in the present moment. The past is memory. The future is imagination. Yet anxiety convinces us to abandon the present for an imaginary danger that has not arrived. That is its trick. But here is the secret. Nothing is unbearable when faced directly in the now. Even pain itself is more tolerable than the anticipation of pain. The present moment is always smaller, always lighter, than the mind's catastrophic visions. This is why traditions across history, Buddhism, Stoicism, modern psychology, all point to the same truth. Fear thrives outside the present. Mindfulness trains us to sit with what is, without clinging or resisting. Stoicism teaches us to focus only on what is within our control. Both dissolve anxiety by pulling us back into reality. Because here, in this breath, in this moment, you are free. Of course, practice matters. Presence cannot be summoned in a single desperate moment if you never prepare. That is why mindfulness, meditation, journaling, and even small pauses to notice your breath are essential. They build the muscle of awareness. Then, when anxiety spikes, you are not helpless. You already know the path home. And here lies the greatest paradox. Anxiety feels like the thing pulling you away from life. But in truth, it is the very call back to it. Each spike is an invitation, a reminder that you are lost in thought and need only return to the one place life is actually lived. Here, now. When anxiety strikes, most people believe the solution is to get rid of it as fast as possible. They search for distraction, they try to numb it, they fight it like a battle they must win. But the harder you fight, the stronger it grows. Why? Because fighting anxiety is still giving it all of your attention. It is like trying not to think of a pink elephant. The more you resist, the more it dominates your mind. The real way out is not to fight, but to shift. To shift your awareness from resistance to curiosity, from fear to observation, from panic to presence. Imagine for a moment that your anxiety is a messenger knocking on your door. You can slam the door shut, but it will keep pounding, louder and louder. Or you can open the door, let it in, and simply listen. The messenger may speak in a frantic, trembling voice, but if you listen closely, beneath the noise, you might hear the truth it carries. Pay attention, wake up, return here. Anxiety is not your enemy. It is your alarm clock, ringing to remind you that you are lost in a world of imagined futures. This is why grounding practices matter so much. Touch the objects around you. Feel the texture of a book, the surface of a table, the temperature of the air. Listen closely to the sounds in your environment, from the hum of a refrigerator to the distant chirp of a bird. Name 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste. These are not trivial exercises. They are powerful reminders that reality is always simpler than the stories the mind creates. The present is rarely as terrifying as the future you imagine. But there is another, deeper layer to this. Presence does not just calm anxiety. It reveals who you really are. When you strip away the thoughts of past and future, when you stop identifying with every surge of fear, you discover a stillness inside that cannot be shaken. Call it consciousness, awareness, or the observing self. It is the part of you that notices without being consumed. This is the place anxiety cannot reach. Philosophers and mystics have pointed to this for centuries. The Stoics spoke of cultivating inner strength by accepting what lies outside our control. Buddhists taught the practice of mindfulness, observing thoughts as passing clouds. Modern psychology now echoes these same ideas with practices like acceptance and commitment therapy. Different languages, different traditions, but the same truth. Freedom is found not in controlling every thought, but in shifting how you relate to them. Think about it. How many moments of your life have been stolen by anxiety? Hours, days, even years lost to worrying about events that never actually happened. Anxiety convinces us we are preparing for the worst, but in reality, we are sacrificing the only thing we ever truly have, the present. The tragedy is not that life is full of danger, but that we miss the beauty of what is right in front of us because we are too busy living in what-ifs. So here is the invitation. The next time anxiety spikes, pause. Don't run from it. Don't collapse into it. Instead, breathe. Notice your body. Observe your thoughts as if they are not yours, but simply passing visitors. Anchor yourself in what is real, the ground beneath your feet, the air in your lungs, the simple fact that you are here. Each time you do this, you weaken anxiety's control. You reclaim your presence, and with it, your freedom. And remember this, presence is a skill, not a miracle. It is built one moment at a time, one breath at a time. You will forget. You will get swept away. That's normal. The victory is not in never being anxious, but in remembering that you can always return. No matter how far your mind runs into the future, the doorway back to now is always open. So ask yourself, what if anxiety is not something to escape, but the very teacher showing you the path to presence? What if every spike is not a failure, but a chance to wake up? If you can see it this way, your entire relationship with anxiety transforms. You stop fearing the storm because you know you can stand in the middle of it without being destroyed. The truth is simple. Life is always happening here. The past is memory, the future is imagination, but the present is alive. Anxiety will always try to pull you away, but you have the power to return again and again until presence becomes your natural state. And in that presence, you discover peace, strength, and clarity you never imagined possible. So now I want to hear from you. What do you do when anxiety spikes? Do you fight it, distract yourself, or try to ground yourself in the moment? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might be the one that helps someone else. And if this message spoke to you, if it gave you even a spark of peace or insight, remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Together, we can keep exploring the philosophy of the mind, uncovering the hidden wisdom inside the struggles we all face. Anxiety does not have to control your life. You are stronger, more present, and more free than you realize. All you have to do is remember to return home, to this breath, this moment, this now.